Welcome everyone, this is Pablo from Style Systems, your image consultant. For more information, go to stylesystems.net. So let's talk about style. What is style? Even though I've already done a video talking about it, I think it was one of the first videos that I ever did for this YouTube channel, I still get asked the same question. What is style? And I will try to keep it as simple and short as I can, because that's why image consultants exist. That's why people like me, we know about all this theory of style. There's a whole theory of style, and you know, maybe I will do a number of videos for the YouTube channel explaining the styles and so on, right? So before I get started on what style is, let me begin by saying that what is not style, right? The misconception that we have about style. People from all over the place, they talk about style. Like, oh, yeah, I think this is your style. Oh, I think this is my style. Or, you know, I don't have style. Or that person has a lot of style. And everyone talks about style. The way that we image consultants talk about style, it's not in the same way as fashion people talk about it, right? There's a whole theory of style that was developed in more than 10 years ago. It was, I think it was released in the 1990s or something like that. There's a book called The Universal Style, and it was created by Diana Parente and Alice Parsons. You can Google it and you can do your own research. Now, since then, we have developed it further, and every image consultant, we add our own flavor, our own understanding, based on experience, because that's truly what we can all talk about, right? We can all talk about what we read. No, I read it on a magazine, or somebody said it, but unless you actually experienced it, you cannot truly comprehend and give advice and, you know, just explain it. So everything that I'm talking about right now does not come only from them, but also comes from my own experience and by treating clients. So this theory was developed, and it covers not only fashion, it covers not only items, it covers just about everything that communicates something. Because style, in a nutshell, basically what it is a form of communication, all right? It is a tool of communication and a form of communication. It is the way in which we express our individuality. It is the way in which we express the medium in which we express, or with which we express our essence, our uniqueness. Now, there are 7 different styles based on this theory, because if you really study all the archetypes, the most fundamental archetypes that exist everywhere in the world. If you don't know what an archetype is, I suggest that you pause this video, go to Google or get a book and study the archetypes. And the archetypes are literally everywhere. So based on these psychological and social archetypes, these 7 styles were developed. And it's something that you can see it. It's not only that these people, or we image consultants, we just invented them. It's in everyone, and it's in everywhere. The beauty about style is that you find it in nations. That's right. You know, the style that Mexico has is way different than the style of Italy, than the style of Japan, and the style of America, isn't it? You can find it in products, institutions, which means brands or companies, and also you can find it, of course, in people. So this is the way that the medium that we choose to, you know, express who we are. How we point at ourselves and say, this is who I am, this is what my product is all about, and this is how we choose to express it. And then through the theory of style, why is this useful, right? You may ask yourself, well, what do I want to learn about this? Well, this is very useful and is necessary to learn about your style and the theory of style, universal theory of style, because that way we create congruence, coherence. Sometimes you have a product, or sometimes you think you are in a specific way, and then the way that you choose to express it, it's not congruent. The way that you stimulate your audience, or the way that you're sending out stimuli all the time, verbal stimuli, visual stimuli, a lot of different things. This is where image consultants come in. We help you just align everything that you are or your product and to send one single message, in quotes, and communicate congruence so that you don't get misunderstood. All right. So the theory of style was developed like that, and I will cover the 7 different styles. But before I do that, I want to bring an awareness in that. It's not that somebody has style or somebody doesn't have any style. This goes back to one of the axioms of imagology, or one of the axioms of the power of image, which is there's no good, there's no bad, there's no better, there's no worse. There is relative to you, relative to the product, relative to the needs of the company. With that being said, it is wrong to say, I have a lot of style, you don't have any style, which is what you hear with a lot of fashionistas and all these things. It's not like that. Because if this is our tool of communication and a way of expressing ourselves, this basically means that everyone has style. Everyone has a style. But that doesn't mean that everyone knows how to communicate it properly, effectively, and positively. Wouldn't you agree? So that's why you have to learn your style so that then you can express yourself in the best way possible and congruently. Then, let me cover the 7 different styles. There are natural, romantic, creative, elegant, classic, seductive, and then dramatic. These are the 7 different styles. But basically, these 7 different styles, they're not... just because there's a word attached to it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be like the word. Let's say you are classic, right? You are classic, or maybe you're elegant, right? Maybe you're elegant style, but you work in a fitness environment. That means that you cannot be elegant all the time with your fashion, right? Because you have to be moving all the time, but your essence is elegant. So you see what I'm saying? You don't have to be elegant all the time. Or maybe you are romantic, but then you are not a romantic person, right? That's your essence, that's your style, the way that you express yourself with different stimuli. It's not that you have to be romantic and you have to be like dreamy and be like very compassionate with, oh yes, maybe you are a cold-hearted bastard or a cold-hearted bitch. But your style is romantic. So this doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to describe you, because whatever makes you you is unique. And that's why we image consultants, we apply a number of different tests, psychological tests and beyond, just to understand your essence. And then once we understand your essence, we have to know your style so that every stimuli that we're going to send through your fashion, through your business cards, through your website, through your post, through your social media, through everything, it's congruent with that style, because this is like the lane that you pick to follow the path, right? That's, in a nutshell, that's what style is. So with these 7 different styles, you must understand that you can combine. There are certain styles that can combine each other, and there are certain styles that just repel each other. Let me give you an example. Classic and creative, they don't go along. They actually repel each other. Or classic and seductive, to give you an example. Then let me give you an example. Elegant and dramatic, they go well together. So you can be in between 2 different styles at the most. That's the top that you can get, and then you will, you understand yourself a little bit better. There are certain styles that are unique and they are on its own, and they work better on themselves, by themselves, but you can combine them. And then this is not like picking up candy, right? This is something that I see with my clients all the time. Like, people think that, well, I want to be seductive, and they always have a tendency to think that elegant or seductive is the best style. But this is simply because of the interpretation, the misinterpretation that you have about a fucking word, which is seductive. Oh, I want to be seductive because you think that seductive is going to get you what you want, or elegant is going to get you what you want. You have to understand that each style has its own strengths, but also risks. There's also a little bit of weaknesses that you send out with your message, that you project with that style. It's not all positivity. It's not only that, seductive is going to get perceived as cool or whatever the fuck you think you understand about that word. It's not like that. It's deeper than that, all right? There are certain messages that you communicate with that style, with each style. And again, I have to say it again and again and again. There is not one worse, there is not one better. This is natural is no better than seductive or anything like that. It's relative to you. So this is something you were born with. This is your essence. The moment you want to pick a different style, like, well, I want to be that, you are violating your own goddamn style, your own essence. You're not being true to yourself, which means you're going to be fake, which is what we see with a lot of people, with a lot of influencers and a lot of YouTubers. They're not who they say they are. They are manipulating you and themselves. They're lying to themselves, which is the worst part. That's why my motto and the motto of my company, Style Systems, is be the best version of yourself. Be the best version of you. You have to find out your style, your unique style, and then bring the best out of it. That being said, style, it's like calibration, right? It's like a TV. Picture, imagine a TV, right? If you bring the brightness all the way up, it's way too bright, it's way too flashy, like almost to the point that it's uncomfortable, right? The message is not getting transmitted, or it's a lot there, or like turning up the volume as well, right? You bring up the volume of that TV and you're hearing a lot of that, the messages that the show is transmitting, but it's not only the strengths get transmitted higher, but also the risks and the weaknesses and the negative aspects of your style get transmitted as well. So you get a lot of attention, but you also get a lot of negative attention, and you become annoying, right? You don't want to be like that. You want to calibrate it. Then what's on the opposite side, you bring down the brightness of the TV to the point that you think it's just turned off, or you bring down the volume to the point that you don't even hear anything about that TV. You don't understand the messages that TV is transmitting. That's what happens sometimes. You bring down your style. Again, everyone has style, but sometimes you bring it down and you make yourself lesser, that you go past unnoticed. So what you want to do is you want to calibrate it. There are some times that you want to bring it up. There are some times that you want to bring it down. A perfect example is what I just said. Maybe you are classic style and you work in a fitness environment. Maybe you are elegant and you work in a fitness environment, which is a little bit more, let's say, natural, to give you an example, maybe, right? If you work in that environment and you need to wear a uniform, you will have to just tone it down a little bit on your style, on your elegant style, just a little bit down, so that you can work better on that environment, all right? So that you can develop yourself better in the work environment. And it's not that you're going to be incongruent or you're going to be lying to yourself or being fake. It's just that you calibrate it. And then some other times you bring it up. You've seen it in some of my videos. The way that I dress myself for my videos, I do it for you guys. You must understand this. It's not that I'm being fake. This is part of who I am. But sometimes I choose not to wear a suit. Sometimes I wear something different. Sometimes, I do boxing. I love boxing. I'm not going to wear a suit while doing my boxing, right? The essence of who I am is always there, but I calibrate it. So understand your audience, and that is how you're going to calibrate your style. Alright, guys? So the theory of style is so huge and so big and so beautiful, and it allows us to understand communication from people and products and institutions and even nations and beyond. We understand like the code of the matrix, right? We crack the code and we understand what people are trying to communicate without having them to explain themselves. It's like, oh man, this is like a key, a tool that unlocks the secrets of communication. This is why style is so important, so crucial when it comes to communication, persuasion, even sales. If you want to persuade another human being, you have to understand who they are so that you can appeal to their needs. Not to be fake, not to be manipulative in a wrong or negative way, but in a positive way, to give them what they want and what they need, right? So my suggestion is that you invest into these things, invest and make your own research on this. I have my own book called The Rules of Style, where I explain everything about this. It's on Amazon, or you can get it on my website, stylesystems.net. And also I have a whole online course explaining everything about this style, about the theory of style, and about each different style, each of the 7 different styles. And then I apply the test and then I interpret the test, and then you get to learn what your style is, and then you understand your style, you get to own it, because that's basically what it is. It's about understanding yourself and understanding your product so that you can communicate it in the best way possible and with congruence. This is not about turning into something that you're not. All right. So the theory of style is this, and remember, style is communication. Style is a form of expression. Style is not something that one has and another person doesn't has. It's just a way of saying this is who I am, and this is how I choose to communicate it. Alright guys, hopefully this video made a lot of sense to you. I know it was a long video, a very long video, but you know, when it comes to style, where it's a very misunderstood or misinterpreted word, we have to re-educate people, and that's why this was a very long video, right? Keep sending me your questions, guys. If you want me to do more videos on this, let me know. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and also to listen to my podcast Fashion Matrix. Get on my coaching program The Power of Image, and if you're interested in this course, online course that I told you, or in finding out what your style is, get The Rules of Style, or get Discover Your Style, The Truth About Style. These are The Truth About Style is another book that I have. The Rules of Style is another book that I have. Discover Your Style is an online course that I created. Alright guys, let me know what you think about this. See you on the next one.